guys, it's Bastian time. Welcome to this week in Zelda news. I'm your host Bastian. Let's get to those top stories. So first of all, of course, the biggest story of the week is that Nintendo had their live stream presentations about the Wii U, and of course we'll get to the Wii U and non-Zelda stuff in the This Week in Nintendo News video, but as far as Zelda stuff goes, no, Zelda Wii U was not announced, unfortunately. However, what they did show was a little bit more footage of Battle Quest, a new stage, and oddly enough, Nintendo of America didn't mention anything about Battle Quest whatsoever, and neither did Nintendo of Japan. Nintendo of Europe, however, clarified that there would be 9 stages, so that's pretty awesome. I was expecting that Battle Quest would be just a quick little party game of maybe 1, 2, or at most 3 stages, but not at all. Both the solo and the multiplayer versions will have 9 stages for you, and then after you complete those 9 stages, you'll then be able to go ahead and unlock some hidden stages, so that's pretty awesome. Basically, like 9 dungeons, a full-size Zelda game almost, but of course not really, it's still really a party game. And then besides all of that, they then announced, oh yeah, by the way, there'll also be a time rush mode. So of course the objective in that is just to defeat all the enemies as quickly as possible, and there are 3 stages of that. A lot of fun to be had out of Battle Quest. I'm kind of actually pretty excited about it now. Next up is an amazing fan recreation. I don't think I've ever seen a recreation of a Zelda prop this detailed, or this lifelike looking. It's the mirror shield, of course, and it's actually a mirror. It's a reflective surface. It's just awesome. Great job to the artist who did that. And what's also interesting is that they're going to go ahead and release a video showing how to go about creating this if you'd like to have one of your own. Speaking of Zelda fans creating Zelda things, here's an amazing Zelda bedroom that some Zelda parents, fans of Zelda series who are parents, went ahead and created for their kids. It has a Deku tree in it that is sort of on the side of the bunk bed. It has a fairy fountain and a heart container, lights, and Octorok plushie. It's just pretty awesome. Some more Zelda fan creations. Here is an amazing Zelda Hylian tote bag. It's basically the Hylian Shield, but as a tote bag. Pretty cool. And then, these Hylian Shield shoes. These are sweet. I would almost buy them, except, I don't know. I mean, they're awesome because they're Vans, and I like Vans, and they're blue, and I don't know, but anyway, really great job on these. They look professional. Next up is something that, as Zelda fans, we just kind of take as a given, which is that Link seems to never talk in the games. Now, it's not true that he's mute, of course. What we're expected to believe is that he does have these conversations with people, but we're simply not privy to the exact words that he said. However, this comic points out a much more amusing interpretation of the events wherein he really doesn't talk, and everybody in Hyrule is simply psychic. It's pretty amusing. Definitely check this one out. Our next story is about a really interesting performance. It's not of any Zelda music, but actually the Game of Thrones theme. So why are we talking about it in This Week in Zelda News? Because the 2 people playing it are using the N64 controllers to play Majora's Mask's Deku, Link, I don't even know what instrument that's supposed to be, like a bagpipe kind of thing, and then also the Ocarina of Time. It's not perfect by any means, but it's certainly very entertaining to see the Game of Thrones theme played as a duet using Zelda in-game instruments. Speaking of Zelda instruments, the Symphony of the Goddesses has announced that it's going to add a whole lot more cities and dates to its tour schedule. I actually already know that they're adding the dates to my hometown because I found it by complete accident, but it's not on this list yet. This list only goes through the next couple months or so, so that indicates to me that there are definitely even more cities and dates that they are not yet announcing even beyond this list. So definitely stay tuned to that, and who knows, it'll probably be coming to a city near you if it hasn't already. And our next story is about the Wind Waker and the fact that the speedrun record has been broken. The new record is 4 hours, 58 minutes, and 55 seconds. That is fast. I feel like it took me months to complete that game. I can't even imagine how it's possible to complete it in 4 hours, but if you want to watch the entire 4-hour adventure, there'll be a link in the description down below where you can go ahead and watch that if you want. And our final story is also Zelda song and instrument related. It's that one of the writers over at Zelda Dungeon has created a new video series. His name's Alexander, and he will, in this video series, show you tutorials on how to play famous Zelda songs on your ocarina. He does a fantastic job, very clear and easy to understand. I don't own an ocarina for whatever reason. I think that's crazy, so I'm definitely going to get one soon. And I'll definitely be watching his videos to show me how to play those songs. So that's it for this week in Zelda news. Definitely be sure to stay tuned in just a couple days for This Week in Nintendo news. Of course, you already know the price of the bundles and the release date and all that stuff, so I'll touch on that briefly, but then I'll go ahead and talk about some of the new things that have unearthed after that big presentation. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you then. Bye!
Yeah.
And there are 3 stages of that, so